Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. This side Priya Bhatia. And in this specific video, we will be discussing about another amazing topic. You can consider it as I would say, crisp video for the Power BI specific business intelligence tool. A lot many people were requesting me about this specific video. So here is the one masterclass which in which you will be able to observe that I am talking about one practical implementation of Power BI tool starting from scratch till the advanced part. In this specific, I would say one short video, you will be able to observe that the only prerequisite is that you already have a installed version of Power BI desktop. So before watching this specific video, just make sure at your end, whatever be the operating system you're working, accordingly try to do the installation. It would be great to install Power BI desktop from Microsoft Store and then just try to implement the stuff which I am doing in my lecture. I will try to attach the data set which I am working on in the description part of this specific video. Just to make sure what I need from your end is the support. If you really feel that this specific video is very insightful and will be very helpful for you to create the interesting dashboards and reports in future, so you need to share this specific video with each and every one. Just day before yesterday, I was just checking the stats, and what I have figured out is the proportion of the people who are watching the video but have not subscribed the channel is quite huge as comparable to the people who have subscribed it. So please make sure, it's very important for a creator who is doing a lot of hard work for you all to actually get a support from your end. So please make sure you will hit like button, tag me on LinkedIn with respect to whatever understanding you have gained in this specific masterclass, and try to make sure that whatever learnings you're gaining, you will try to document it, create it with me, and I will definitely try to look forward with respect to how many number of people have able to create the interesting, I would say, reports, dashboards with respect to whatever discussion that we have made till so far. So now, without wasting any time, let me try to share my screen and then we can start our journey to discuss about Power BI from scratch. This is a business intelligence tool. This is a business intelligence tool. So before we will deep dive into Power BI, what is the meaning of BI? What actually the people who are in the specific domain usually does? So business intelligence is all about, I would say, is all about converting the raw data, I would say, into some sort of meaningful insights, into some sort of meaningful insights. So the major work that we are doing in business intelligence portion, if you will try to talk to any of the experienced person who is working in this specific domain, and if you will ask from them what is your day-to-day responsibility, that is what they will say, that basically we usually get a raw data from the clients or from the different platforms, databases, and what we are doing at the end of the day is we are trying to convert that raw data into a meaningful insight so that company will be able to take any specific decision which will help the company to generate more revenue. So that's the whole, I would say, idea about business intelligence, right? Now, whenever we're talking about BI tools, you will heard of the two very widely used tools. One is Power BI, for which we have a masterclass today. Another one is Tableau. I'm really sure that you must have heard this tool as well. Yes or no? Right? Now, there is always a debate that which specific tool should we learn and in how much detail. So, or both of them, if you will try to search upon this specific two tools on Google Trend, And if you will try to search any specific keyword over here, for example, I am searching about Power BI. Okay? I want to explore this and I want to compare this with Tableau. And if I will just try to showcase you the trend in the past 5 years, you will see that this is the kind of a graph that we will be having, right? This is the kind of a graph that we will be having where somehow the demand of Tableau was quite huge. And in the initial days, if you will be able to see, it is quite huge where everyone was working on Tableau. Everyone means every second company, if you will ask, they were working towards this specific tool, and Power BI is not that much having that I would say specific fame, right? People will be using Tableau more because of its features. But as we are approaching towards 2025, you will be able to see that the trend is going downward. Can you see? This is going downward. And the only point is now, if you will ask me to compare these two tools are having almost similar features. There are a lot many advancements happened from the past few years, and now they both are equally, I would say, appreciated. But at the same time, if you let's say know about Power BI, and let's say you are selected for a company, and in that company they're expecting you to know about Tableau, so it's not an issue. It won't take much time to you to learn about Tableau if you are already aware about Power BI. So I would definitely say currently the trend of Power BI is again coming up where people are inclined towards doing the visualizations, creating a dashboards with the help of this Power BI because of its amazing features, which I will try to showcase you within few minutes. But that is where if you will try to compare between these two, there is no as such comparison. Both of them are equally good, and you can try to learn any one of them. And if the company demands to have the second knowledge, you can always shift and have flexibility in terms of learning the second tool as well. That's the whole idea I really want to give. Now, that is fine. I really hope it is clear to everyone. Now, these specific tools, what they usually do, they usually try to help in our real world applications. For example, let's say you want to create any specific dashboard, you want to do a reporting of the given data, you want to create the visualizations, right? There are literally fantastic ways nowadays to do a interaction with, I would say, other specific platforms to load the data in a very easy manner, to load the data in a very easy manner. For example, uh, there is a very good way to interact with the Excel based files. I will try to showcase you how easily we will be able to load any specific file, how easily we will be able to connect with any specific database in the Power BI itself. So that is the overall, I would say, beauty about this specific tool because of which it starts getting fame. Is it clear to everyone? Is the intro part of why we are discussing this specific tool and what is the, I would say, importance of this? Is this clear to everyone? Shall we move ahead to the next important discussion? When you say dashboarding, you will try to create a proper, I would say, dashboard, which is kind of a dynamic one, where if let's say I will try to change few numbers, automatically the value or the chart will get changed. Reporting is in terms of numeric values where you have been given an Excel file, and now after doing the analysis, you are providing some Excel file to the client which contains the, let's say, descriptive stats of that specific data. So that is where you are doing a conversion to a meaningful insight, but now you are providing a report for the same. Ki, Let's say the average salary of the employees working in XYZ company is, let's say, 50,000 per month. So that is where you're doing a reporting. In dashboarding, we are trying to create a proper end to end structure. You must have seen in the companies, they have the dashboard available with them, where, let's say, at any point of time, if any employee just try to add in that company, they will have to just add one employee information, and automatically their entire hierarchy, their entire plots, graphs will get changed dynamically. That's what we do in dashboarding. Okay. Now let's move ahead and let's try to see that how basically we will be able to download this Power BI tool. So I really hope that everyone will be having this Microsoft Store in their system. If you have your own local system, or in your company's laptop also you do have, but in company's laptop you might require some permission, but if you have your own local system, you can always open this Microsoft Store and search about Power BI desktop. So if you can see, it is coming up in my case. So once you start searching for this, you will be able to get this specific Power BI desktop. Now, in my case, it is already installed. That is why you will be able to see that it's written as installed. For your case, if it is not installed, you will get the option to install it. And once you install your Power BI desktop, then in your search button, you can just try to search this app of Power BI desktop. And as soon as you will search this, you will be able to see that this kind of interface will come up whenever you will try to, you know, open the Power BI desktop. So it's a very easy way to do the installation. Just we have to go to the Microsoft Store, search about Power BI desktop, click on the install button, and it will take some time and your installation will be done. Once it is done, you can always try to open this, just open the window button, search about Power BI desktop, and this kind of interface will open up. Is this clear to everyone? Any doubt till so far anyone is having before we will proceed ahead? To get the installation part, you can also check the, I would say, videos available on the web. On YouTube, you will find a lot many videos. There is one question: does Power BI support in Linux? The answer is no. It is not natively supported on Linux. You will be able to see several ways to use Power BI or its functionalities on Linux system depending upon the requirement. So what you can do if you have a Linux operating system is you can install a virtual machine or a virtual box, and then you can run a Power BI desktop. So you can install a Windows virtual machine in your on top of your Linux system, and then maybe you can try to work for Power BI. That is the best way which you can do at your end. I hope it answers your question. Is this clear to everyone? So installation part, what I'm trying to convey. So once you will be free from this specific session, you can try at your end. Maybe you can refer the YouTube video on YouTube where you can just search Power BI desktop installation on Windows, and you will be able to get a step-by-step guidance as well. But more or less this is the same part. You have to go to the Microsoft Store, search on it. It's just that if you want to see step by step visually how the things are appearing, you can refer that videos. Okay. Now once we will be able to download and install this Power BI desktop, you will get multiple options, where the very first option you can see is blank report. Now as soon as you will open this blank report, you will be able to get this kind of a interface, where on the top you will be having an option of file, home, insertion, modeling, view, optimize, help, and on the right side you will be having multiple views. For example, this is a report view, table view, model view, and then dex query view. Now what we will do in today's session is we will try to see it practically, that how the things will work. how we will be able to work with Power BI tool in one go. So try to be more attentive in this specific session, because now I will try to showcase you multiple features that we will be having in Power BI. By the way, on the right extreme, you can see that there is an option of what we call as build, with the help of which you will be able to build all these plots which you can see in the box. There are multiple plots depending upon what kind of uh, thing you want to highlight, you want to showcase. Depending upon that, you can select which specific plot will be better, right? There are multiple charts. I really hope that in your older classes, you must have seen bar chart, histogram, scatter plot. So at what point of time, which specific plot is recommended? I'm expecting that you should know that specific part. If not, we can have discussion of that as well if time permits to us. Shall we move ahead? Okay, perfect. Many people are saying yes. It seems that you are ready now. So what we can do is, if you can see, let me open my other pen as well, if I can. So if you can see over here in the top, there is a button of get data. Now, if I will try to, you know, click on this specific part, that is where I was talking about the very first interesting feature of Power BI. Can you see that it has already done a great collaboration and connection with multiple data sources from where usually the raw data can come? For example, Excel workbook, Power BI semantic models, data flows, data wars, SQL Server, analysis services, textual or CSV format data, from web if you want to extract the data, blank query. So there are, if you can click on this more button, you will be able to see that it is already connected with so many platforms that it is so easy nowadays to extract and load the data in the Power BI. That's the number one feature which we have. Means as a user, if I am using Power BI, I don't have to spend more time in terms of loading the data. It becomes very easy for me because directly there is a connectivity which is there in the interface itself. Okay. Now, if let's assume what we will do today is, maybe I will try to showcase you one demo where, first of all, let me share with you one data set. This is the data that we will be having, which I am trying to load it. So let me first of all showcase you how this data looks like. So this is a data of a store, superstore of US. Okay. Now, if you can see this specific data, let me just zoom a screen bit so that you will be able to see it clearly what we are doing. In this specific data, we have, first of all, multiple, I can say, uh, sheets available, orders, returns, users. So it's a store data. So I hope it makes sense that we can have multiple sheets where the first sheet belongs to the number of orders which that specific store is getting. Second sheet indicates that how many number of returns happened with respect to individual order ID. And the third sheet indicates the manager of each and every region. For example, in central region, the store manager is Chris. In the east region, it's Erin. In south region, it is Sam. In the west region, it is William. So with respect to every region, we can have the manager available in the user's sheet. So in this manner, we can have three sheets available. And the task is to get some intuitive insights from this specific data. Now, the insights might be that with respect to every region, how much sales is happening, which specific region will be having highest sale, from which specific region I am able to earn maximum revenue. So these can be few instances where we want to get a insight, so that I will be able to increase my revenue accordingly at the end of the day. For example, let's assume that we get an insight that maybe on south region the sale is quite huge as comparable to other regions, so maybe I can think of having more outlets of my store in the south region as comparable to other regions. So in a way this specific insight will be really helpful to me to decide that what is the next step we should take ahead in terms of growing our business, growing our revenue at the end of the day. I hope it makes sense. Is this clear to everyone? What is the final thing we want to achieve over here? So we have a store data. It contains three files. Orders file contains the details of the orders which the customers are doing. Returns file with respect to every order ID, how much return is happening. In users file, we will be having the detail of the managers in each and every region. I hope it makes sense. Is this clear to everyone? Shall we proceed ahead? Now, the interesting thing is that how can we do all of these analysis in Power BI? For that, you need to load the data. Vishal, which specific thing you want me to repeat again? Could you please let me know? If at any point of time you guys have any sort of confusion, pose me over there and let me know what specific thing you want me to repeat so that I can repeat. Considering that you already have joined the session on time, it's not that you're joining just now and telling me that can you repeat the session. So if you are joining it from the scratch, you know what I'm covering up. If you have specific doubt that this is the point which is not clear, just let me know. I will repeat that point. Go ahead, Vishal. What is your doubt? Any question anyone is having, please go ahead and write it down, giving you few seconds of time. So is the data part is clear to everyone what this data set is all about? Again, just a brief context I am giving. Three files: order file containing the order of each and every customer for a store, returns file to get the details of the returned customers with respect to individual order ID, users file we have in which we have the details of region wise the managers. You, I hope you all know, for example, MACD has its multiple outlets, right? It is in Bangalore, it is in Delhi, it is in let's say US, UK, everywhere you can find this specific store. Now in each and every city, in each and every country, there is a different, obviously the manager who is leading all these things. So, similarly for that, this US superstore might have in every region different manager which is being stored in this user's details. Now let's try to understand that how can we load this data. Now you can go to get data, and because for now we are dealing with a Excel workbook, we can just simply click on Excel workbook, and after that we can simply try to load our data. So let me try to load it. Now it will take some time, and after this you will be able to see that a new screen will come up. Here you will be able to see that it is asking from us that which specific sheet you want. For us, all of these sheets are important: orders sheet, returns sheet, users sheet. I really want every specific sheet to be available in my Power BI module. And that is where I will try to click on all of these sheets. If let's say you are working on any specific task where you just want any single sheet or maybe two sheets to be loaded in your Power BI desktop, you can do that as well. Now, there are a few options which you will see. Again, you should pay very close attention towards this as well. So let me again try to showcase you. And it's very important to understand the difference between these options. First option is the load option, which you can see on your screen. Load means that directly I want to load this entire data, this entire sheet in my Power BI. Second option we have is transform data. If let's say you want to do any specific changes in your data first, and then you want to load it. For example, let's say you can see that in this specific data part, I am not having a proper column available, because in users the column name should be region and manager instead of column 1 and column 2. Or maybe in the orders specific table, in orders specific data, there is one column which doesn't make sense to me. I really want to delete that entire column altogether. Or maybe in the returns table, there is a column which is making a sense, but it contains a lot of missing values. I really want to first of all handle that. So whatever be the task you want to do as a pre-processing task to transform your data before you want to load it, before you want to analyze it, in that case, you will click on this transform button. I hope it makes sense. So there are two options whenever you will get the data you will be having. One option is load. If you feel that your data is entirely filtered, it's a quality data, directly load it. If you feel that no, it's raw data and I really have to check and do the changes in my data, I have to transform it before I will try to do the analysis part. So in that case, you have to click on this transform button. So what we can do for now is we can maybe click on this transform button. And I really want to showcase you what will happen as soon as you will click on this transform button. So I will click on this transform data, and as soon as I will click on it, you will be able to see a very interesting screen coming up. What is the screen is called as? Power Query Editor. So a new full-fledged interface will come in Power BI. As soon as you want to, I would say, transform your data, you have to write a query to transform that. And that is where you will get another full-fledged interface, which is about Power Query Editor. Is this clear to everyone? Power Query Editor. Is this fine? Shall we proceed ahead to the next part? Now, in this Power Query Editor, you can see if you want to change a type, you can do that. So we have this orders table in which we have row ID, order priority, discount, unit price, shipping cost, all of the columns that you will be having, it is available. Now you can see the column number 26 and the column number 27. It doesn't make sense to me. Why? Because this entire column is containing a null value. So it might be the case in the original row data, there are two spaces, two columns by mistake, unintentionally. So what I want is I want to remove these two columns. I hope it is making sense to everyone. Why it is showing Power Query Editor? I told you initially as well, I'm writing it down over here. Whenever you want to transform data, whenever you want to transform the data, transform means that you want to make any specific changes in your data. At that point of time, you always get a new interface called as Power Query Editor. This specific portion, this specific interface will have several features, will have several features which will help you to do the transformation of a data. And as soon as you're done with that, then you can go back to the main screen, which from where we came, which is having report view, data view, and all those things. I hope it makes sense. This will happen always. Whenever you will click on transform button, it will give you a different interface altogether. The name of the interface is called as Power Query Editor, in which you will get several features to do the analysis, transformation, and once it is done, you can save your changes and then you can go back to the main screen. Is this clear? Shall we move ahead to the next part? So in the orders table, what is the issue? In the orders table, what was the issue I was talking about? Uh, Ravish, it's exactly same. I already have opened it. So the data which I have sent you is exactly same what I have opened up. Please see this very, very carefully. This is the link which I have shared, in which everyone I think is there. You can see it contains three files. It's just that it is on your Google Excel tool. That is why it might look different. You can just download it. Excel sheet will come up. It's exactly same. Perfect. Now, the problem was that column 26 and 27 contains null values, which is not as such useful for us. So what we can do, we want to transform it, means we want to remove this entire column. So there is a button which you can see on top of the screen of remove columns. Select column number 26 entirely and click on this remove column. It will be removed. Similarly, column number 27, select this and click on this remove column. It will be removed. And now you will be left with this specific data available in your, I would say, orders table. Now you have removed very easily the column number 26 and 27, which contains the null values. Is this clear to everyone? Any doubt till so far? Anyone? So easy it is, right? If few values have null values, there is a separate discussion. There is a separate way to tackle that. We can discuss later on. But if the entire column contains null values, it's a separate discussion, which I already have done. It means that in that specific scenario, that aspect is not something which is important. It doesn't contain any valuable information. You can remove it. I hope it is clear. Shall we move ahead? Everyone is comfortable till so far? Perfect. Now, next specific option that we have is returns table. It seems that this specific table is fine for now. Then we will be having this users table. In this users table, the problem is that the header name is different. So in this header name, we will be having the region and the manager. I really want to rename this specific header, which is column 1, to region, and column 2 to, I would say, manager. So how can we do that? There are multiple ways to work on it. Let's see. Okay. In this manner, we have removed the first row. So what I have done is I have removed it. Now, what is this specific thing is the region. I can rename it directly. And what is this specific thing is the manager. Another way could be where you can try to make the row as a header. That option also you can you see use first row as header? You can click on that specific option as well. There are multiple ways. What I have done is I have selected the first row. If you have checked a few minutes back, I have deleted the first row and renamed the first column as region and the second column as manager. Now I think it looks fine. So we have 4 regions available, and with respect to every region, I have the manager name. Just check this out. One more important thing you will be able to observe that whatever steps you are doing, it is being noted in the right side of the screen in the applied steps. I really hope that you can see it. So whatever thing I have done, right? So whatever steps I have done, if you will be able to see it over here, removed top row, that is what the first step which I have done. So it is visible over here. Then what we have done, we have renamed the column. So whatever with the applied steps you have done for this user's file, it is available on the right side of the screen. Similarly, whatever steps you will do for the return file, it will be available in the applied steps. In the orders file, it will be available in the applied steps. So at any point of time, if you say that, hey, I really forget what I have done, so you can just check that out in your applied steps and you will be able to get the idea. Or any other person also will be able to get an idea that what this person has done in the transformation part. Is this clear to everyone till so far? So here we will be having now this kind of a file. Similarly, here you can see, if you will be able to observe this very carefully, in the orders table, what we have done, if you remember, we have removed the uh, column 26 and 27. So that you can see removed columns. This is the step that we have done. So it is already available in your right side. Is this fine? Is this clear to everyone? Shall we move ahead to the next important part? Clear? Now, one more very interesting thing which you should be able to see over here is that in this specific uh, Power Query editor, whenever you are opening these files, you will be able to see that whatever column I will be having, I can see the data type of that specific column very easily because of this specific numbers. Can you see these numbers? So it's very easy in the Power BI to check the type of any specific column. For example, if I am asking you that what is the type of this row IDs? So it's very easy to answer it because you can say it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 means it's a numeric type in type. Similarly, when I'm asking you order priority, what is the type of this? You can easily see it's ABC, means somehow it belongs to a categorical type. Discount 1.2, it means that it belongs to a float type. Unit price, again 1.2, you can see it belongs to a float type. Similarly, for shipping cost, it's a float type. Customer ID 1 to 3, it means it's an integer type. So in Power BI, it's very, very easy to check the type of any specific, I would say, column just by looking at its left extreme, what kind of numbers, what kind of characters it's being written. I hope it is clear to everyone. Shall we move ahead? Now, whatever with the changes in a broader part I really want to do, I have already done it. One thing again which you will be able to observe over here is that if you are doing a removal of column, what we have done is we have used the tab of remove columns, right? But automatically there is a one query which you will be able to see. So if anyone wants to apply these kind of queries, they can apply. It's just that it is time consuming, it is uh, requiring a lot of practice. And as a beginner, we can always work with the options that we can have directly where we can do our task instead of writing this query. But if anyone wants to write, if they have a real expertise, they can. That's why it is called Power Query Editor. So people, you can write a query as well to remove the column, to change the type, to let's say handle that or users specific table in which we can rename the column. So if I really want to go back and rename the column, I can write this query as well. Table dot rename column. Here remove top rows. This column I have removed and rename it to region. Column 2 rename it to manager. So you can see why it is called as Power Query Editor, because somehow, okay, we are doing these specific tasks via the features that we will be having on top, but we can write a query as well to do all of these things, to do the transformations, and that is why it is called as Power Query Editor. Is this clear to everyone? Now, once all of your transformations are done, your last task is to save the changes. And how can you do that? On the top, you will get one option of close and apply. So close and apply, you can click on this specific option. And as soon as you will click on this, it will take some time. You can see on my screen, it is loading. And once it is done, you can go back and your changes will be done. And your data is loaded. How you will get to know your data is loaded? Check on the right extreme. You have this data option available. Now, in this specific data option, you can check that all of these three files that we will be having, orders, returns, user, it is available. Let me know if this is comfortable to everyone. So I really hope that now you get the difference between loading a data versus transforming a data. As soon as you will load the data, it will come in the Power BI desktop in the data specific module, in which you will be able to get all of the files available with you. When you are transforming a data, it means that you really want to make some changes, and for that you will be able to get a one different screen of Power Query Editor. There might be one question which you have in your head, that maybe initially we have directly loaded the data, and after some point of time we realize that this specific data requires some changes. Can we do it after loading? Yes. So you have an option of transforming data over here. If you want to transform after loading it, you can again click on this transform button. Again, that same screen will come up of Power Query Editor. Once your transformations are done, you can again click on close and apply. You will go back to this same screen of Power BI desktop. I hope you're getting my point. Is this clear to everyone what I'm trying to convey over here? Any doubt over here? Till so far, are you guys good? Comfortable? Specifically, I really hope that this specific in this specific session the audience is beginner level, where they have just seen this interface for the very first time. So if you have any question, anything you want to ask, please go ahead and ask. If you really want me to showcase you any of the stuff practically again, you can let me know. I will repeat that specific point again. If not, again let me know so that we can proceed ahead. Clear? Very good. Great. Now, we understood about transforming, we understood about loading. Now, let's move ahead to the next interesting aspect. Let's assume that now I have the data available with me and I really want to analyze this data. Now, how can I do the analysis? First thing is, this is what we call as table view. Table view, once you go to the table view, you will be able to see the entire table of your final loaded data. For example, you will be having this orders table available with you. You will be having this returns table available. You will be having this users table available. Then we have this model view. What is the meaning of model view? Anyone having any idea? How many of you knows about something called as the relationships among different tables that we will be having? So when in any given data you have multiple sheets, so all of these sheets, maybe users, orders, returns, can have somehow connection with them. And this can be many to one connection, one to one connection, one to many connection, which is what we called as cardinality. I hope you can see on my screen cardinality. So what is the meaning of this specific term called as cardinality? The simple meaning is that how the two tables are connected to each other. For example, let's assume that I'm talking in this specific session. If I'll ask you, what is the relationship I have with you all? So you have one mentor in this specific session, Priya Bhatia, who is taking a master class of you guys on this Power BI discussion. And let's assume on this specific class, I have learners, and almost 100 people have joined this specific master class. So if I'll ask you what is the relationship between the mentor, let's say we have a table of mentor where a single mentor is there. We have a table of students where I have the details of the 100 learners who have enrolled in this master class and is joining me live. So what is the cardinality of this specific relationship among these two tables? Your answer will be, Priya, it will be one, two, many, if I'm not wrong. One to many. Yes or no? Yes or no? Similarly, when we talk about in Power BI, when we go to the model view, when we go to the model view, this specific view says in Power BI interface that how the two tables are connected with each other. So whatever data you have, usually this connection they will do by default. But if, let's say, for any specific table, for example, few minutes back, we have observed that it was not done for orders and returns table. So if it is not there, you can build that. If it is there, you can already analyze it and check that out that whether it is correct or not. For example, today the dataset that we are working with composed of three tables. What was the table name? What were those three tables we have? We have something called as orders table. We have something called as returns table. First of all, if I'll ask from you, what is the relationship between orders versus returns table? So you will be able to see that in orders table, we will be having city, country, customer ID, customer name, and so on. In returns table, we just have, I think, two fields. Let's check in the table view. Yes, I think two fields we have, order ID and status. In orders table, we have multiple things. So what is the relationship between these two tables? So for that, first of all, you have to figure it out. What is the common ID? What is the common field that we will be having in this specific orders and returns table? So you will be able to figure it out that in both of them, we have something called as order ID, which is common, right? Now, what is the relationship between orders and this returns table? What is the relationship between orders and this returns table? I hope you usually purchase a lot of orders from Amazon and you might return them as well. Yes or no? So let's assume that today you go to Amazon website and you have made an order of four things. And out of those four things, one of the order you want to make an exchange, right? So what is the kind of relationship you will be having with respect to orders and returns table? Many to one. So in this way, you can define the relationship. Similarly, we have users table, we have orders table. Now, you remember in our users table, again, we will be having two fields. One is the manager and another one is the region. Now, what is the common field between users table and orders table? The region. Can I say everyone? Because in both of the fields, we have regions available. Now, in every region, we just have single manager. But we can have multiple orders. So what is the relationship between users table and orders table? One user, many orders. Can I say everyone? One region, one manager, but there are multiple orders belonging to that same region. So in this specific manner, we have something called as model view, which tries to bring up the relationship between different columns that we will be having. And finally, we have DEX query view. We will talk about this later on, but this is the overall idea. Now, whatever the relationships we have, I really want to create a plot for the same. So how can we do it? For example, let's say I want to create something called as clustered column chart. So you can click on this specific option of clustered column chart available in this build part, right? Now, you will be able to see that on the screen, you will be able to see this empty chart. Now, what you want to do in this specific x-axis, in this specific y-axis? The question is, what you want to analyze? For example, I want to analyze, in the y-axis, I will maybe take the region. No, not in y-axis, I'll take the region. Let me see what we can do. Any guesses what we should do, which does make sense as well? Region can be a legend. Let's say in the y-axis, we will take state. I am just analyzing it. In the x-axis, we can take the sum of sales. And in the legend part, we will take this. Maza nahi aaya. Let me try to pick up some other interesting thing over here. Let's pick up product country name, product name. Oh, this should come on the x-axis, product name. So you have to just drag and drop, nothing else. And let's assume that the sum of sales I'm picking up on the y-axis. And this is where you will be able to get this plot. Can you see? Even I think previously also I have made a mistake. In the x-axis, if you want, you can also take again the previous thing which I have mentioned. What was that? The country. Oh, it only belongs to US Superstore data. So that is why only one country we have. Maybe if we will take city, will that make more sense? Let's see. Yes, that will make more sense. So if you will try to analyze this data now, and if I will ask you that which specific city will have maximum sale, which specific city will have maximum sale? Can you observe it how easy it is for me to check this out? Can you see which specific city will have a maximum sale? Los Angeles. Yes or no? Because for a country, it belongs to US data. So we just have a single country. But in that country part also, if you really want to check that in US, which specific region can have maximum sales? In US, as a single country, which specific region can have maximum sales? How easy it is for me to analyze it? Can you answer this question? What do you think is the answer for this? For a country, US, which specific region have the maximum sales? East. So that is the beauty about this specific thing, that at any point of time, if it all depends on what is the business use case we're trying to solve. So we can have 10 or 20 problems which we really want to figure it out, for which we really want to get the answers. And what you can do, you can just have to change this x-axis, y-axis, legend value, and depending upon that, you will be able to get multiple responses. Now, once you will be able to do that, there are multiple things to do the formatting part, where usually people spend a lot of time. The people who are working in this specific domain of data analysis, they spend a lot of time. Why? Because it all depends on how you are providing this visualizations to the clients. So in this specific manner, we have multiple things to do that. For example, size and styling. You want to increase the height, depth, the horizontal or the vertical ratio. There is a padding option. Background, if you want to change, for example, let's say maybe you just want this kind of a background, you can just change it. Even in this specific background part, I have seen nowadays people usually try to upload the pictures and then take it that as a background, which also looks really great. Visual borders, do you want or not? Now, title. What is the title you want to give? For example, sum of sales by country and region. That is the title. By default, it is coming up. I really want to make this heading. If it's bigger heading you want to make, you can change it to heading number 4. Format. What kind of formatting you want? Maybe I want Arial black. ठीक है? Again, alignment, let's say I just want to do the alignment in the middle part. So you can just change it to the middle part because it's a main heading. You can change it to the mid, where it will showcase you, okay, it's a sum of sales by country and region that person have created. Now in the x-axis, again, if you want to increase, for example, you can see over here in the x-axis country and then US is somehow not clearly visible. So let's assume that I want to change its font and I really want to change the, let's say, the size so that it will be clearly visible to me. I really want to change the color. ठीक है? So whatever things you want to do, whatever things you feel that will create your plot more engaging, and if let's say you are showcasing that specific plot to the client on a projector or on a virtual meeting on a screen, you have to make sure that that specific chart should be visible very clearly. The numbers should look very clear so that the clients don't need to look like they should not make effort to look at your numbers. Automatically it will be visible to you, to them, right? At that point of time, all these things will make a lot of sense. So there are a lot many options of formatting, which definitely once the session will get over, you can check at your end as well. Similarly, we can have this title option, how you want to showcase. Then we have this layout option. In the y-axis, again, you can see in the y-axis, again, these numbers are not clearly visible. And there is very much interesting thing we have called as values. Like in display units, how you want to display. For example, I want to display in thousands, which will make more sense over here. Again, 11. I really want to change it to a bold type so that numbers look very clearly to me. So now you can see. I hope now it is clearly visible to you guys that these numbers are 0K, 100K, 200K, 300K, 400K, and so on. One thing, whenever you are trying to create any specific plot in Power BI or in any other domain as well, in any other tool as well, always make sure that these display units will be sensible. For example, let's say a few minutes back, it was auto, which seems to be in millions. If you can see this specific plot, this specific chart, does that make more sense to you? Or if I'll convert them to thousands, that will make more sense to you. You only tell me. So in the y-axis, initially the display unit was auto, which was giving us in million form. Will this be more sensible to you or understandable to you? Or if I'll convert it into thousands, that is more understandable to you? Tell me. In thousands, right? So you always have to check that how your data looks like. Let's say if you have a sales value, so what is the maximum sale value which you will be having? Is this will be more sensible when I will be able to convert it or having the display units in thousands or in millions? For example, if let's say you are having 100 million data, 200 million data, then maybe million is a better number. But if let's say you will be having in the format of 200,000 or 300,000, then in that case, making it in a thousands will make a more sensible decision. All of these things might look very, very small things to you, but these things also impacts a lot because at the end of the day, when you're using this Power BI tool, you are hiring for data analyst position or as a position where you have to create the reporting or dashboarding, all these things, all these detailings plays a very significant role, right? How you are trying to showcase your results will impact a lot more. So that is where you always have to make sure that whenever you are trying to deliver some results at your end, it will be definitely look good apart from whatever detailing you are providing. Similarly, here also top left, let's say I just want to make sure it will be also in top center. You can do it. Textual part, again, you can change it to the bold if you want. You can make it 11 that it will be clearly visible. If you want, you can change it to black color. because that will be clearly visible, right? So in this way, everything you can change it. Plot area background. For example, let's say you want to add any, I would say, image at the back. So you can just browse, add whatever image you want to add. Now I'm not really sure what is these images are all about. Otherwise, I definitely can. For example, I'll take some random image. So can you see image fit? I want to fill. So in this way, basically, if it's a very bad image, so I will definitely not go for this. But what I really want to showcase you is you can at any point of time try to add your own image as well, which people nowadays are doing to add their images, right? Which looks good at the end of the day. So you have an option. You can nowadays we can generate the images from large language model based tools as well. For example, Chat GPT. You can create an interactive image. You can tell them the scenario that, hey, I'm creating this specific plot. I really want to showcase to the clients in the backend. Give me some customized, great interactive image. I have the background color as this. You can mention everything, and accordingly, it will try to generate great images for you. So, in this way, you can do a lot more formatting in the entire part of x axis, y axis, legend, title, everything in terms of font size, in terms of the type of font which you want, background color, everything you can do with respect to this specific part. Is this clear to everyone before we will proceed ahead? चलें आगे to talk about another interesting feature that we will be having. Shall we move ahead? Is everyone comfortable till so far? There is a lot more. Whatever I can share in this 2 hours of duration, I'll try my level best. After that, I will try to share with you the resources, few open source resources which you can refer to learn more about the same. My main purpose in this masterclass is not to teach you end to end anything. I just want to showcase you few practical stuffs, and I really want you guys to, uh, you know, take this as an inspiration, find interest in it, and once this masterclass will get over, try to do the installation, do it at your end. Already I have shared the recordings, not recording, sorry, I have already shared the dataset with you all. You can try to work on it with respect to whatever parts we have worked, so that you will get the confidence that, hey, this is what I have learned and this is what I am implementing right now. And obviously, I am really sure that you will do better than me in terms of doing a formatting, in terms of doing the exploration part, because you have a lot more time as comparable to my master class, definitely at your end, right? So shall we move ahead to the next interesting discussion? A very interesting feature that we will be having in Power BI, another interesting feature that we will be having is what we called as data drilling. So what I will do over here is in the x-axis, now I will remove this country and I will try to pick up this order date. Now, as soon as I will pick up this order date, you can see order date is composed of year, quarter, month, day. Can you see this? As soon as I will just try to fetch this order date in the x-axis, it's not only a date, it's multiple things composed in it. Year, quarter, month, day. So we have few options. There is one option called as drill down. There is one option called as drill up. I will do few practical stuff over here, and then you can realize what is we are doing in drill up and what is we are doing in drill down. First of all, I will try to click over here and try to see, are we getting any specific changes in drill up and drill down. So I'm clicking on this drill up, and automatically I am getting this specific change. Again, I'm doing a drill up, I'm getting this quarter, I'm getting this year. Again, I'm doing down, I'm again going back to the quarter, month, and day. So, what is the difference you're observing over here? In the order date, if you will be able to observe, we have these specific fields. This is a very interesting feature. We have this specific field. So, what is happening is, as soon as you're doing moving a drill up, so it is trying to, for example, first of all, it is giving me the day, right? Here we have day currently. So as soon as you will say drill up, it will move to the upward direction and will give you month. Again, you will say drill up, it will give you the different quarters we have in this specific data set. Again, you will do drill up because this data is 2015 based data. It will just showcase you the year 2015. And then when you go back down to the, I would say, next hierarchy, it will reverse the cycle. From year, you will get quarter. From quarter, you will get month. From month, you will get day. So that's what is the purpose of drill up and down. So this day is where we are at the very end. This day is where we are at the very end. Now, if you want to go back, whether you should go for up or down, you want to go back to month. So which specific field you will choose to go up? Drill up. So what you will do is you will try to pick this button and you will say, I want to go upward direction. It's a quite interesting feature. You can see how easily month wise from January to June, I will be able to get the region wise sum of sales. So if I'll ask from you in which specific month, under which specific region I have the maximum sale, in which specific month, under which specific region I had the maximum sales, can you answer me? Can you answer to me? So if I'll just try to, for now, I'm not publishing it. I'll talk about that stuff also. But let me take it as a snapshot for now. What I'm asking from you, we have plotted this specific chart, right? I'm asking from you that we got this on a month wise. I'm saying, can you just let me know on which specific month and under inside month also in which specific region there will be a maximum sale. So the answer is quite easy and intuitive to figure it out. It's in the April month. Under which region? I think under East region. How easy it is, isn't it? It's not South, it's East. Can you see this is the highest portion that we are having? So this belongs to East. You can refer from above. April, East. Clear? Everyone comfortable till so far? Interesting? Now again, I really want to see quarter wise. I will take the question. Give me some time. Let me finish first of all this topic. Please wait for a moment. Now, in quarter wise, if I'll ask you in which specific quarter the maximum sales has happened, in which specific quarter maximum sales has happened, under which specific region? Quarter number 2 in the East region. If I'll ask you in quarter number 1, in which specific region maximum sales happened? In quarter number 1, in which specific region maximum sales happened? Again, it's in a West region. And then we have further the year wise, in the year 2015, in the East region, again, maximum sales happened. So is the concept of drilling up and then down part to the next hierarchy, is that clear to everyone? Again, a very interesting concept. And even this is one of the widely asked question as well in the interviews, that what usually we do when we are doing drilling up or drilling down over here. Great. Now, usually, apart from what we have covered up, let's say you are created this specific plot. Now, apart from this, you want to make further analysis. So, what usually we do, we usually try to create more plots in terms of whatever portion we have covered up till so far. So, this is the one of the plot. And on top of this, you can plot multiple things over here and you can do multiple analysis portion. For example, let's say region wise, I really want to see the profit ratio. And again, you can do the formatting of this in an appropriate manner. I really hope that you get an idea how can we do the formatting part. So if I will ask from you that which specific region, without doing any formatting over here, which specific region will have the maximum profit percentage, I really hope that you will be easily able to answer it. This is in the this is in the East region. The maximum profit percentage is in East region, which is 85.29K. So again, you can work on the background part. You can work on these values, which is not clearly visible to me currently. You can work on creating this title in the mid, working on this region, maybe at the bottom, in the middle part. So all of these things are easily feasible. The only point which I'm trying to convey over here is that when you try to create the appropriate dashboards, you will try to create multiple charts in one specific screen, and then whatever be the analysis you want to do, which is very, very important and significant for a company, you will try to create a distribution for the plots inside that. Now, in future, whatever be the changes you will do in that specific data, automatically those changes will be reflected over here. As soon as you will click on this refresh button, you will be able to see that your plots will get changed. For example, let's say in future, you are trying to load the data which contains, let's say, 10 new records. So you will first of all load the data by having a new updated values and then click on this refresh button. As soon as you will click on this refresh button, your entire desktop will be refreshed with a new entries which intake those 10 new records as well. And this is where it becomes so easy to create this entire dashboarding part, to create this entire reporting part. Is this clear to everyone what I'm trying to convey over here? Now, I don't have a time to create each and every plot, do the formatting, but this is your task for today. After learning from this specific session, try to create whatever fields we will be having, right? Whatever you feel are the important fields we have, which you can see from this data orders part. We have the other tables also, returns and the users, from which you can definitely do a lot more analysis. You can do it, and then once you will be able to create a proper interesting visual, a proper interesting dashboard, you can just let me know. You can post it on LinkedIn, you can tag me, and you can just let me know that hey, this is the work which I have done. I will definitely, those who will tag me on LinkedIn will check their work. You can try to upload your work on GitHub repository, and then I will go there, check it out, and share my feedback in the comment section of that specific post. Will that work for you? It will take a lot more time. It will take a lot more time because first of all you have to analyze what things are actually important for company's perspective, for the store perspective. Consider yourself as the owner of the store, and then think that what are the plots which are quite important and significant for me as a owner, which will bring me a great number. For example, I have tried to showcase you profit wala, I have tried to showcase you sales part. So in that sense, you can try to think about that what are the other things, what are the other plots that we can create, so that it will be quite interesting and important as a owner of the store. Will that make sense to everyone before we will proceed ahead? Is this clear? Just give me the confirmation, then maybe we can proceed ahead. At the very end, we do have an option of what we call as publish. So This is the option where, let's say, once your report is ready, you want to publish it. Do you want to save changes? Let's say I want to save it. You can give the name, and once you give the name, for example, this is my uh, demo project. So it is being saved in a specific location. If I, let's say, really want to save it in some different location, I can change it. This is demo project. Let's say I'm saying publish to Power BI. And I think it will just change in the documents itself. So I'm not sure my OneDrive will have a space or not. But anyhow, I am saving it over there for now. And it will be done. Publish to Power BI. Let's say I want to publish it in a workspace. It will take some time. And now, whatever work I have done, it will get published in my, you can see, success. And now, if I will just say open this in my Power BI, so what will happen over here? You can see this will get opened up in my, so you will be able to see my work in this my workspace like that. See, now it is coming up. The same project which I have worked on in the Power BI desktop, I can able to see this now on my online Power BI app.powerbi.com, where whatever work you have done, you can clearly import that. If you want to try to analyze it in Excel, you want to share it in PowerPoint, you want to store and save it in a PDF, you can do all of these things and you can work. For example, I really want to export the current page. I will click over here and my complete work, whatever I have done today, will be exported in the form of a PDF, which I can really share to you guys, to anyone. Usually, it will be helpful to create the PPTs because at the end of the day, whenever we are working, whenever we are trying to showcase something to the clients, we work with this specific, I would say, PPTs to showcase the stuff. So I can just share the work. Maybe after this session will get over, I will try to showcase you the today's thing and share with you. Maybe today date is 6th April. So discussion is of Power BI. 6th April, time is 11 a.m. So I can just save this PDF file for now. Now, one important thing before we will try to discuss further any specific thing, you might face an issue in terms of doing the publishing part if you have not signed in your Power BI desktop. Now, one important thing is when you will do the sign in via your personal email ID, you might face an issue because Power BI desktop requires either your official email ID if you're working in office and you have your own official email ID. Try to log in from that specific account. If you don't have, you can use maybe your college email ID where you will not at the end of the day have that at the rate gmail.com. So that specific personal email ID will not work. If you have any other email ID apart from personal one, try to log in it from that, and then only once you will log in it you will be able to work on this specific part. Like work you can do, but if you want to publish your work and check like the way I'm checking in the app.powerbi.com, in the Google part, you can only search if you can sign in. That's the overall idea, because this specific account only you have to create on your own uh, cloud system, right? In your own Google platform, in your own Microsoft platform, and then it will be connected, and whatever work you are doing, that will be showcased over there as well. So that's the whole point, which I really want to convey. So when you will be working at your end, try to sign in from any of the email ID apart from your personal email ID. PWID, I'm not really sure, but you can try. I think it might work, right? So at the rate gmail.com should not be there. After ending the college, email will be expired, then you must be working somewhere, right? You will be having your own official email ID in that case. So don't worry. Also, there is a alternative way to create the alias email IDs also. I'm not really sure how many of you knows, but you can, after this masterclass will get over, check it out. We can create the Microsoft.com account, Microsoft.com as the alias email ID. So how can we create it? You can just refer it. So if at the end of the day you are not a college student and you are maybe not doing any job as well currently, you are maybe taking a drop out. So at that point of time, you can just try to create your own alias Microsoft based email ID, and you can use that email ID to sign uh, in the Power BI desktop, and then it will be easy for you to continue for the publishing part, I'm saying. So to learning these things, it won't impact. If you, even if you will not sign in, you will be easily able to do all of these things. What I'm saying is, at the point, at the moment when you want to publish your work, because if you want to showcase something to the other person, maybe to me, you want to post it on LinkedIn, you have to publish your work, then only you can provide the URL, or you can try to save it in a PPT or a PDF, and then you can upload it in your GitHub profile. At that point of time, I'm saying that these things are very important. You have to sign in, you have to have a proper account, and then only these things will be feasible. I'm saying it prior because I know that once the session will get over, you will try to do the publishing part at your end just like the way I did. You might face an error, and then you will be like, hey, this is what she has not faced but we have faced, what is the issue? That is the only thing which I really want to convey over here. So apart from this, what things are left, let me tell you. There is something called as DAX queries in a Power BI, which is basically similar to what you usually write in Excel functions. How many of you know how the Excel functions will work? So we have the sum function, we have the average function, right? Similarly, in the DAX query, we have in Power BI option of creating a new measure, which you will be easily able to see in this Power BI part, right? New measure. Can you see it? New measure. And if you want to do the analysis of any specific thing, for example, let's say, uh, let me try to pick up one demonstration and then maybe we can wrap up. So I'm trying to create a use case for which we can work on this new measure part just to showcase you one demonstration, and then maybe we can wrap up because it's something which is important. For example, let's say we want to check the sum of the sales in terms of, let me take total sales, which is equal to, let's say I really want to check the sum of what specific value I want to check, sales value, not row ID. Oh, cancel total sales, which will be equal to some function I will use, orders of sales. And as soon as I will click on this, let me pick some different name in that case, total sales underscore one. So can you see that we will be having this value, total sales of one, which is 1.92 million. So at any point of time, whenever you want to create the analysis part, you want to use some function. In that specific case, we have an option, what we call as new query. And to get this new measure part, you will have to write a query. You will have to write the functions, which is quite similar to Excel functions. This is what we call as DAX queries, data analysis queries, in order to analyze our data well. How can we use it? I have already showcased you. For example, let's say I'm saying, can you create a new measure to get the total profit? So again, you will click on this new measure. You will write over here, array, just give me some time. By default, let me try to remove few things which I have done by mistake. Delete from model. So I will again click on this new measure. I will write here name, total profit. And after that, again, what I will do, I will write the function, sum function. I will say take from orders table. The column name is, what was the column name? I think profit. Yes, this is the column name that we have. As soon as you will click on this, you will be able to see we have an option of total profit. And you can easily check that this is the profit we will be able to get. So how easy it is to get that number, to get that analysis with the help of this new measure, which will be easily able to give us the values just by tapping on the functions. So this is another very interesting concept which we have in Power BI, which really helps us to analyze our data. Apart from what things are given to us, on top of it, whatever analysis I have to do, I have to write the queries. To write those queries in Power BI, we have to click on the new measure, and then we can write the queries on top of it. Whether you want to take sum, you want to divide something, you want to do the average, whatever you want to do, you have to call the function and then you can do it. So that's the overall idea with respect to the Power BI part. I really hope that this specific masterclass gives you an insight that how we can do the things practically, how can we create the visual charts, how can we do the transformation of any given data. Once we will create the visuals, do the formatting, how can we publish our work? If I really want to find out something new, how can we write the DAX queries by creating a new measure? All of these things we have covered up in today's discussion. There is one more interesting question. Uh, can we create a new column? Yes. See, there are two things. One is what we called as column. Another one is what we called as measure. When you say, I want to create a new measure means that here it will be only single answer. Always remember, there is a very widely asked interview question also, that is there a difference between new measure versus creating a new column in the Power BI? Yes. New measure always try to do the aggregation part. If you understand this, what is the meaning of aggregation? It will try to take multiple records from your data and will give you a single answer. Maybe you want to find out the summation. You want to find out the average of all of the given values. So that is where a measure will come into picture. But a new column will come in which, let's say you will be having 1,000 records in your data. So you will be getting a new column which contains 1,000 new values. I hope you're getting my point. Let me give you one use case. For example, let's say you will be having a number of uh, products quantity which have been sold in your data. Let's say it is 7. And you will be having a price per unit. Let's say the price of that specific product is 80 rupees. Okay? Similarly, here we have 5 products quantity which is sold. The price is 50 rupees. Let's say we have the product named as uh, ice cream. Here it is chocolate. Now, if I'll ask you, can you tell me the sales value? So, in this case, will you create a new measure or you create a new column? With respect to individual products that I will be having, so this is the product's name, I really want to check the sales value. So, in this case, I want to determine with respect to ice cream how much is the total sale, which will be 7 into 80. Here it is 5 into 50. So this is where you will create a sales value, which is a new column altogether. But if I'll ask you, can you give me one total addition of summation of how much sales happened for today? So you will do the addition of all of these quantities, which is 560 plus, let's say, 250. Whatever be the answer you are getting. This is what we called as that, hey, this is where I'm getting a single answer, which is the addition of all the values. This is what I'm calling it as a new measure. So that is the main difference. I hope it is clear to everyone. So we can create a new column, we can create a new measure, but there is a difference between these two. New column means that you are trying to do the changes in your original data because you're creating a new column altogether. But new measure means this is what you are doing just for the analysis per se. You are not making any sort of changes. You are analyzing your data. That's the whole point. I hope it is clear to everyone. So whatever be the things I want to clarify, I have already cleared it up. Now I want to open this stage for everyone. Whosoever is having any sort of questions, please start posting your questions. I'll take few questions for the next few minutes and then maybe we can wrap up. But before we will wrap up, I really want to showcase you what things we have covered up in today's masterclass. So we have talked about what is business intelligence in the very starting, what are the tools we have. After that, we have seen the discussion about Tableau versus Power BI. After that, we have seen the interface of Power BI desktop. First of all, we have seen how can we install it and then the interface for that. Then we have seen that how can we load any specific data. What is the difference between load versus transforming a data? We have seen how can we remove any specific column, how can we rename any specific column. What is the meaning of data modeling, where we are trying to uh, create a relationship among the different tables that we will be having, many to one to many, and so on. After that, we have talked about the creating a visuals via that build option that we will be having. Today, we have seen how can we create a clustered column chart and pie chart, but at your end, as I told you, it's your task for today to create multiple plots in one go and try to figure it out what specific analysis will make a more sense in this specific data set, which is already shared with you. After that, we have seen that how can we use the option of drilling up and down to go to the hierarchies. For example, we have taken a very interesting example of date type in which we are moving from days to months to quarters to year. So how we will be able to create different plots in one go. All of those things we have covered up. How can we do a formatting of any given plot? That is also we have covered up. At the very end, I have showcased you the DEX queries, the difference between new measure versus new column, and at what point of time you should go with a new measure feature versus at what point of time you should go with a new column feature. So that's the overall discussion. How can we publish a report? How can we see it in the Google Chrome? Everything we have covered up. Uh, in a nutshell, what you're supposed to do now is a practice, and whatever task I have given you with respect to this Power BI part, please try to attempt it. And once you do it, try to post it in your LinkedIn and I'll definitely check it out.